Hello, welcome again. Thanks for coming. What's on the mind? Lots to talk about actually. So, in South Africa, it's the end of the season, and I guess just reflections on the way that the national team has done and how things have gone. It's a season that's kind of had turmoil, but also had kind of rewards from actions that were quite good. Tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that World Cup qualification, number one, number two, or non-qualification, and by that I mean for the semi-final, that match in Adelaide. After looking like South Africa were the team, they certainly seemed like the team to beat, along with England. And at the start, the way things went, you just thought England, India, South Africa probably as the three teams that might be the ones to try and beat by the end of it. As it turned out, it wasn't so. South Africa crashing out at the hands of the Netherlands. Kind of ironic actually that the end of the season is then against the Netherlands, and they beat them quite comfortably to what looks like securing a place, automatic place in the Cricket World Cup, the 50 over version. So yeah, all that in Australia wasn't so good, and issues of selection and so forth, and by that I mean who selects the team, who doesn't, who should be, who shouldn't be. But by the end of the season, and two separate coaches employed, Shukri Conrad, test matches, and Rob Walter white ball. And what's happened is they've taken up the mantle of selection and are going to be responsible for who plays in the team along with their captain. I do think they need another set of eyes. I don't think that the scrapping of selectors totally is a good idea. Perhaps you can call those selectors something else. I don't know, scouts or whatever it is, and I'm sure they'll have their appeal, but I think those people need to be official, because then those people can then be accountable. I must say, even though it's my mate Victor Pizang, I think he's kind of thrown under the bus a little bit, because if that's what's been going on all the time, as in the teams have been selected by the coaches and the captains and not necessarily by the selectors, this should have been made known a long time ago. Anyhow, that's kind of water under the bridge, and let's see what happens going forward. The end has been pretty good. Happy also with the way that the captains have been separated. I think that Temba Bavuma, time ago, probably should have got the test captaincy job rather than all white ball. I think, and when I say that, I'm not saying so for his candidacy. I'm just saying with regard to the way that he is and plays, it probably was a case, for in that batting lineup, he was okay to get into the test match team and senior and this is no slight on Dina Elgar. It's just that's what probably suited Temba Bavuma more rather than the white ball captaincy, especially with the way that the game is going, power and all the rest. He's shown that he's in red hot form and can play the game, but as and when form dictates, you get selected into a side. And so that's going to be helpful for whoever it is, coach, captain, who select those teams. It's ended okay. The other thing I'll touch on actually for South Africa and the end of the season is that, having secured the World Cup qualification, it then pays off the fact that they decided not to play those one-day internationals against Australia. There would have been some sort of embarrassment. The big teams, the big nations don't want a case where they have to qualify for anything, want to make sure that, especially in ODI cricket, South Africa have been so good at it despite not winning a World Cup and all of that. In bilaterals, they're pretty good, and you'd expect them to be in the top 8 at any point in time with regard to the ranking. So that decision was okay. The SA20, which was why the decision was made, was an absolute hit. If it goes half as well as it did this season, the inaugural season, it'll still be very good as a tournament. So yeah, kudos to everybody involved in that. Kudos to all of South Africa's cricket landscape, and may it grow from strength to strength. yeah, that's that as far as the season is concerned. Do you give it a tick? Do you give it a cross? Not entirely sure. I wonder what you think, actually. I'd sort of go 50-50. And I say 50-50 because the test match scenario, things are not necessarily looking up, even though the finish was against the West Indies and was decent. There's still a whole lot to fix there. Whether it'll be fixed or not, I guess we'll see into next season. I say we'll see into next season. It's just a couple of test matches, and they're good things that must be done. And the side that will be more tested and that everybody will see a whole lot more of is the one-day international and 2020 sides, more regular. The testing there with tournaments coming up, whether it's a World Cup, whether it's a T20 World Cup. So yeah, let's see how things go. That's it. Signing off really for now to say let's look forward to whatever it is that's coming up for you, for the world of cricket. Everybody eyes on IPL, but there's other cricket that's going on as well. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think with regard to South African cricket. Where does it stand? Where does it sit? Is everything okay? Is everything not? I'll hear from you. Cheers for now.